Ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe it. We are 2 Covenant ranks away from playing the Pyre. Get it? How we doing? How we doing? I kind of don't want to look at the logbook because I feel like all of our remaining Covenants are like really tough. You know? Like Stygia and Hellhorn. Who's gonna tank? I guess you could have a Rail Beater or a Steelworker tank for the champion, but they're not really that good at it. Stygia and Umbra? We've been trying to make that work, actually. So you know what? Actually, I think we tried that recently, but by the way, get used to it. As we get higher to the top here, it is gonna take us a while to get there. You know, it's gonna take us a little longer. We're gonna have to be a little bit more precious. You sap buffs and debuffs, which is fine. So they did actually make Advanced Prototype a lot better, which is extremely good for me, because everybody was telling me, you are a fool, Advanced Prototype slaps. They buffed the crap out of it. I still like... Okay, so this will turn Train Stewards into 10 damage, 13 HP, 2 damage shield, multi-strike 1. So they'll do 20 damage. I mean, we gotta try it, right? I don't know why I thought that we would even, like, puzzle it out. So they're basically 2013 units. I wonder at this point, to be honest, if we could actually just buff Train Stewards and have them be big pure damage dealers for us. I still think you go Frostbite. I know you're like, but the Seraph. I think the Seraph matters, don't get me wrong. I mean, the Seraph definitely matters. They're usually what ends our runs if we don't die to the first boss. The first real boss, I mean. But at the same time, I think this is sensible. I think we made a sensible approach. Sap is interesting, but unnecessary. I feel like we're better off doing something like that. And honestly, our Train Stewards are hidden pretty heavy. Now I can get down with some Train Steward action. And we should really just put another one up in front to do as much damage as possible, I think. And then apart from that, you guys can get ready for another Train Steward to spawn. Hopefully. Really? That's fine. Alright, so I don't think any boss is getting by us here. Our Train Stewards are too strong for you, Traveler. Yeah, we might as well play nothing. That's a good start. Alright, what do we want first? Honestly, I feel like unit upgrades on our Train Stewards are worth quite a lot. Draw one, discard one. We do only have one sap card, but I think I can get down with it. I think I can get down with a Space Prism as well. I'm gonna get weird. Old NL takes the robot, and I don't even think it's a bad play. New NL thinks, what if you just fed a Train Steward morsels over and over? Oh my god. Okay. Things have changed a great deal. Things have changed a great deal. I think you can give an overgorger quick. I think you can do it. I think you can make a super Train Steward. Why quick? Because when it gets strong enough, it's gonna slap. Oh, we can definitely turn it on. When it gets strong enough, it hitting first means that its HP being lower doesn't matter as much. We'd obviously like its HP to be higher as well, but we really need its damage to be higher faster than anything else. Okay, so we're gonna play you. We'd prefer if you didn't die. So we want you up there. You get cracked. And you're gonna gorge as much as is humanly possible. Next turn we want to draw Train Stewards. We did. So I would probably... I mean, Offering Token is a good one to start with, don't get me wrong. But we need capacity on this floor. Good thinking. A Train Steward on any of these floors is not that bad. But I do want to, like, super gorge our overgorger as fast as possible, so I'm going to take a little risk and hope we get something that gives us a morsel, and we did indeed. You have incant triggers, so we'll use this up here, and then we'll get 2 of these, which is going to help our overgorger long term. Alright, all of a sudden, everything's looking pretty sweet. Everything's looking pretty sweet, huh? How about one of these? And then, you know what? What you gorge doesn't matter that much, so take the damage shield, and we'll give our train steward, the morsel miner, a sentence that would have been... That was not smart. A sentence that would have been quite ridiculous only recently. You're not even attacking, so I'm not playing anything. It's a very nice position to be in. You guys are doing fine. Sap 2, I mean, it doesn't seem that valuable for us here. That's all I'll say about that. On this floor, we're not quite getting you. But we are getting morsels. So you're going to be stronger. And also, you up in front is going to, I was just going to say, probably move the needle for us. And maybe we'll just hold it here. Very nice. Okay. So our overgorger is almost a functional unit already. They're probably doing like 12 damage. It's not horrible. I really like Titan's Tooth. It's just hard for us to cast it with offering token being like what you need to get to use it. So for now, I'm going to skip it, and I may regret that. I definitely love packed morsels in this deck right now. Sure, I mean, like, in your head, you're like, what if I get Morsel Maker and Morsel... Master on the same floor with the overgorger, then we got like 7 gorges per turn. We don't have the energy base to use it right now. I kind of feel like that's a trap. Mostly because it costs 2 energy, we only have 3, and we got other stuff we need to do to survive. I think you can make a Cold Celia work. We have nothing on our bottom floor, but really train stewards work well for our bottom floor. But we can also have our train stewards just tank. You know? I don't think that's a bad idea. And I'm trying to think. 115 is really not that much gold. And we don't really need an Umbra unit. So I think let's take this opportunity while it sits to get some Pyre health. Because we did start 20 lower than usual. And, give me melting. Like, if we could bring units back from the dead. Return a random defeated unit to your hand. Enhance it with plus 40. You know, I hate to say it. I feel great about our run right now, which is why I'm not willing to do that. And honestly, out of everything that we've got, the morsels are really good. I feel like Space Prism... I almost duplicated a train steward for the record, but I feel like Space Prism for the extra capacity without overfilling our deck too early gives us a good degree of usefulness combined with flexibility. That's how I feel about our present situation. Okay, what do we like? It's a great question. I think we set up like this on this floor. And we hope to draw a train steward next time, which is relatively likely, to be frank. And then we just don't play our Shade Splitter. So there's a couple of rules. If we get Overgorger, we have to play it. No one can't. So we got Overgorger. We'll probably dump the Shade Splitter. Everything's okay, and you explode and deal 10 damage, which is bad, but not that bad. So we have nothing, we actually can't fit anything up here to even give you morsels, which is unfortunate, and we should have thought about that first. But a damage shield on this unit is big. Probably more life, because really we just want you to live for Frostbite, and then you just get out of my deck, please. So we need Space Prism. We got some time. Not much is going to make it past the second floor for now. We did not get Space Prism. We did get our good Train Steward, which fits in really nicely here. And honestly... because we can't put anything up top anyway, I think we just ice one of you guys. Okay, Space Prism is now huge, and the run kind of plays itself from here. Not a great floor for the Overgorger. I'm okay with this. We got other Train Stewards. Now that's suboptimal. However, there you go. We're back. A dinosaur story. You know, I think you'd just take this, okay? Just gorge yourself silly. Now you guys, that's fair. We actually can't fit our other train steward up there because I'm a dummy. We'll have you gorge just for the energy, and then you can at least do some damage down here. No doubt about that. So now we would like, if possible, I was just going to say, if we have another train steward, I love him right there. And this is kind of just our turn, so what do we want to do here? You certainly sap this floor, even if it doesn't change things too much. It didn't change things any at all, I should say, up here. So hold the front door. That's enough to do it? So we definitely... Hold on, then. That's enough to do it. We gotta change that. Make sure you're gorging, and then get you going. Yeah, okay. Alright. So capacity is a real concern because of the overgorger morsel master floor, I should say. Blazing bolts has been pretty sick for us. So I want energy. I really do. Okay, love you. She said it back. I don't know how to play this one, because Crucible Collector is insanely good. I do think we take it. I do. But I think we're now tapped out on units completely, because our train stewards are also good for us. And I think, like, energy is really important. We can kind of get around capacity right now, but I think we take capacity now and energy later. But I think we're in an enviable position. A position that we're very happy with. We're pretty stoked. Everything's okay. Removal is valuable. Is it more valuable than maybe getting some spells? No. In my opinion, the answer is no. The free relic is also potentially really good. Double stack is not really what I'm looking for. I am looking for cheap removal. I am looking for making a great spell cheaper. And then probably refreshing. Holdover is always going to be the interesting one, right? And I don't think offering token is what you want, because it clogs up our deck a little bit. You do want it on this, but you just can't do it yet. Hold on. You definitely want this out of our deck as well. We can get both, amazingly. So what if you made a helical crystals cheaper? I mean, you could also make an Antumbra Assault holdover to generate... Because and you're going to be like, this is not good right now. I agree, we need to put the plus 10 power on it. We really want that to have a holdover later. I think we wait on it. All I'm going to say is that we can use it to target our own morsels, and we have a serious hunger for morsels right now. Like, we need to get our lifesteal unit and our overgorger and our... Well, that's about it, but still. To get all of them going... This is an interesting question. It's really, can you win without your champion? I think I'd rather not. We're disrespecting artifacts, I'll tell you that much, but say it with me. It is what it is. So we need to make our floors a little different now. A little different than usual. You live. Watch our champion die on turn 2. In which case and it actually appears that it will happen. In which case we absolutely should have just taken the ability. I was really hoping we would have train stewards pop in, but that appears to not be the case. You're gonna die no matter what I play here. We could have kept you alive, but I think it's more important to think long term for the overgorger. We do have a little bit of an issue in that we have so many cards in the deck right now that it is hard for us to, in every circumstance, get exactly what we want. But we're working on it, okay? It's not, Rome wasn't built in a day. And even if our overgorger just, or not our overgorger, even if this gorger just serves as a tank for a minute, that's okay. So you're crushing it. We really, there's a lot of stuff we need. There's no incant triggers here, thankfully. Okay, so what do you need? You need life. And then possibly 1 damage shield. And you just need whatever. And then I think double, and we don't have a super train steward yet, but double train steward down on this floor still does work. And if we could give legitimately anything to the front train steward is pretty good. Alright, so our overgorger floor is getting a little spiced up here. Or a lot spiced. So, weirdly enough, and it is weird, 1 here does a lot for us because then we can put a morsel, we can put 2 morsels instead of 1. Admittedly, the sap is pretty good, but I'm also kind of like of the opinion that it'll screw up our gorges, but putting a train steward up here to block for a second is also nice, although I can't deny it will screw up our gorges quite prodigiously. We could fit another train steward down there now, and I don't know, maybe that'll slow you down slightly. Losing our champion turned this one on its head, and was completely my fault for the record. So you're taking 40 on this floor. Not ideal. I think we want to do a little... Admittedly, that's pretty good, but I think a little morsel multiplication would still be good for us. So I still think we shade split, and do that, and then Antumbra. Every time, brother. Still, I like that you're getting it. Don't get me wrong. So in this case, you would just play your helicals, and then you'd also get this out there. We are doing 250 damage. Still really good. And these train stewards are they're like not worth eating, which is almost bad because our deck's getting too full. But I mean, I'll just be honest with you. Like, if I have a problem with this deck right now, it's sincerely that, well, not our deck. If I have a problem with this particular fight right now, it's that I think we should still be okay. It's that we didn't gorge enough. We didn't gorge enough on our overgorger. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I would classify that as a modest failure. But we could do better. We've learned our lesson, hopefully. So typically, grovel has been really nice for us. Anything that generates morsels clearly is going to be in vogue. We don't have much money. Let's come here. Bless me. Yeah, Cuddlebeard is good, no doubt. You know, Blazing Bolts has gotten pogged. Let's duplicate it even before we upgrade it. I think it's worth it. Enemy units appear on each floor. I won't turn it on. I'm very concerned about our pyre health. I think we're completely okay for the time being, but things can change rapidly. So you need to get out there. Which means we can't play... this is still the right play. You can't convince me it's not. And hopefully we'll draw Blazing Bolts next turn. Okay, so it's a real... You gotta think your way through this one. We love this. At which point we also love this. Really be for the best if our champion got more HP, but we're gonna put a tank up in front of you. We're gonna put a train steward up in front of you. You have a slay trigger. You're a sweeper! I hate you, you sweeper! Donkey, 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 dunk. Well, you know what they say. Sweep, get swept, it's all the same to me. We put you down here, so, I mean, One day I'm going to remember that guy's a sweeper, dude. One day I'm going to remember. So it turns out we probably should have played it a little differently, but it is what it is. So we got another sweeper coming, but that's okay. Crucible Collector is important. If you're going to play it, though, you pretty much have to play it down here. Because it just doesn't fit anywhere else. If we drew it faster, then yes, it would have. You need to gorge, but you're getting swept, so there's literally no reason for you to have done that. So why don't you take one of these, and why don't you take one of these so you get out of my deck. Not that bad yet. Not that bad yet. This is a good turn for us. So just remember, you don't summon on the top floor. Or on the middle floor. You don't summon morsels there. What you do is... I think at this point, we could probably double up. No, we'll double up on damage, and we'll get you with the lifesteal down here. And everything else, for that matter. You're going to have lifesteal for next turn. I think we can get out here. That seems good to me. It's real. I mean, there's a couple of good plays here. Antumbra Assault to get 2 more triggers on this guy is kind of tempting, but he might not live long enough to make that relevant. On the other hand, if he does live, this makes him... with the damage shield, he'll live. Oh, baby. The Train Steward was the other play. It's also amazing. You know what I just realized, actually? We can summon morsels on the top floor. This, I don't know where we put this, actually. We can summon morsels on the top floor, because you're going to die to quickness. So we'll start here. We'll probably give you these. You're not going to die, because he's going to get the kill. You're going to get the damage shield. As far as capacity goes, I think it makes most sense to stack Train Stewards on this floor. And do we have space for... Yeah, we do. Okay, so I'm going to put a good Train Steward up in front. And then we're gonna have you eat again. And not using the helical crystals is a problem. But I really think that the reason it's a problem right now is because of the fact that we don't have enough energy. So we'll be taking energy from our next boss, for sure. So you do 5 hits. Let's run it through. 1, 2, 3. The 4th hit is lethal. Now you're taking 240. How fast do you die? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kills you. We hit you for 30. I actually believe it would. Don't get me wrong. It'd be nice to have our overgorge. But I think to win, believe it or not, this play is a little better. That took us to 340. I mean, we're staying in there as long as lifesteal is working. So that was pretty solid. I don't think we're going to change things too much on this floor. Donkey, donkey, dunk, dunk, donkey, dunka. Let's do this so we could at least put like a Train Steward in front of you next time or something. Antumbra Assault really doesn't target anything, so this is pretty bad. I'm a little anxious. 86 damage. Suboptimal. I think that takes us to 152. You're gonna deal 38 damage. You're gonna deal 50 damage to our pyre, but we're gonna live. Still in there. Certain temptation here, but I'm gonna be honest. I like that. I feel like we're too unit heavy right now. Now trample. Doesn't really apply right now. I hate to skip it, but I'm seeing what we need. Kind of. This is a good setup because we really want removal. We really wanted some pyre health, and by wanted, I mean can't live without it. And we want to cut Frozen Lances. Our Train Stewards are still good draws. And for units, we do have some stuff that we want. Endless is less valuable. Hey, by the way, not losing your champ is going to be, like, insanely good. So if we could finesse that, that would be really nice. I think turning you into a superstar unit is pretty good, too. I'm going to hit a fat reroll here. Now, the multi-strike probably goes best on the overgorger. The frostbite is good too, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I feel like this makes overgorger essentially twice as good. Now this, I really want you to have as much HP as possible, but I think you do warrant an upgrade early-ish, if we're still early-ish. This one is a little dangerous. You add Scourge cards to my deck. That's really nasty because our pyre is quite low. And we have an energy-rich deck, so this is a bit of a disaster, quite frankly. I think we might have to take that 5 pyre damage on this one. And I still think you get the Overgorger going up here. Kill you. No, kill you. There we go. You're going to hit me fairly hard. We'd rather set it up like this. You get the double gorge. We knew it was coming. We may die to cards. That's my hunch right now. We may die to cards. So like you have to be played. We can't kill anybody with Antumbra Assault, so I think we're gonna ignore that for this turn, even though historically it's something we quite like. We really gotta kill the units that add cards to our deck before they add them. Now, I think you're kind of non-negotiable. My hope is that by taking this time now, we can set up more nicely later. So you're not dying, which is very cool and very legal. I would like you to get a lifesteal just to keep yourself going. That might be a little controversial, but I stand by it. Our Overgorger for the time being is doing fine. He just got twice as good. To you as well. I hate to take the damage. I really do. But it got one of the cards out of our deck, so we're not gonna see it later. And we're kind of cruising around okay down here. Don't even talk to me. We have to play it. Our Gorger ain't gorged as much as I'd like him to gorge, but that's okay. You're at what, 68? Oh, you're crushed. Okay, so we'd still like you to gorge, don't get me wrong. But we are kind of thinking more about the long term, maybe? If we make it through this fight, you know, we got... Times are tough. I guess that's all I'm trying to say. So you're doing great up there. No matter what, we know this is coming. I mean, it makes our Overgorger stronger on this fight as well, so it's not like we're just throwing it to the wolves for no reason. You're taking 6. I think this is totally fine. I think you do that. I think you do this. So the only real question is whether or not you're playing a Train Steward or a Guardian Amulet. I don't think it makes an enormous difference. If it does, I actually feel like it's that you want the Train Steward to get out there doing 20 damage per turn. We're tanking it up okay right now. That's nasty. But at the same time, I think it's a kind of a simple turn. We can't even really get out in front of you, so I think you just accept it. I think you get rid of that, no question. The only question is whether or not we can stop you from dying. 6 comes in, you're dead. 1. You know what? I think a single morsel does at least allow us to kill all these enemies, which keeps this card from coming up into our deck next time. Which is worth quite a lot. Now, I wish there was a good spot for this Train Steward. It is kind of tempting to put him there, I'll admit, but I don't think it's the right play. Okay, things are very dangerous. For sure. But we gotta get out in front, okay? So like, as much as I don't wanna, let's be realistic is I guess what I'm trying to say. 5 pyre damage is not gonna determine whether we live or we die. What might determine whether we live or die is killing the boss before they can get there in the first place. And the 40 frostbite is helping us out a ton here. So really this floor is just about applying as much frostbite as is humanly possible. Probably throw that one away. The more frostbite, the merrier. But I'm running the numbers and I'm like, do you think it's possible the overgorger could just like get strong enough? We'd like you to be able to live through a couple of attacks. I think it's possible the overgorger is just strong enough. So this going out in front does allow us to put on 20 more frostbite, which really changes the numbers for us. Now what's better, 26 damage or a little bit more frostbite? Believe it or not, I'm gonna... But then I'm like, hold on. Hold on. You HP, you give energy. We're pogging off to the extreme. Like 175 plus a lot of frostbite. Okay. So our Gorger got fat there. And is just gonna slay. Okay, don't even sweat it. Oh, you did add a Gorge a couple of times at least. But we're still alive. We're still alive. If only I could consistently get that to work, I'd be happier, but I really think we'd say no to the rare pack. We kind of need energy. The pyre health is very much appreciated, but we got a viable run. Take me here, because we got, you know, important plays, namely getting Frozen Lances and probably basic Shade Splitters out of your deck as quickly as possible. Or I could say, actually, that maybe cutting our unupgraded Train Stewards. It feels like it's a waste, but I think that's just pride messing with us. It's interesting, but I really feel like historically the large stone does insanely well on the Crucible Collector. We have upgraded capacity once, we got other capacity upgraded cards. This is a tough choice because Sweep with the Frostbite that we have is enough to really mess with the enemies, but because we're playing the Seraph that purges half of the debuffs, I think we have to go hard. And let's not. There's a chance we're still in this. I think we got a good chance to lose here. I think we got a good chance to lose against the final boss, but there's also a good chance that we're still going. So believe it or not, check this out. Here's my new ethos. Really should have set this up slightly differently, but that's okay. Alright, you guys are going to get ready to possibly take out collectors or just be there for our future units that need Gorge heavily. So here... Donkey, donkey, dunk. That donkey, dunk. Honestly, this is completely fine. We know we want a Morsel Master. Pretty much, you know, written in stone. The choice of where to play this Train Steward, if we do play it, is a little strange. But a Frozen Lance is also pretty bad, but isn't that why we want to get it out of our deck? Interesting decision. The problem is, like, if we play it here, we can't really play our Crucible Collector, or we at least inhibit our Crucible Collector's ability to operate. So I do think maybe you just purge that. And we did get the Crucible Collector. And this is a turn that plays itself. You need this. It's mission critical. You need this. It's like more than mission critical. It's run critical. Now, you know what I'm worried about is our overgorger having 15 HP total. That's a scary one for me. Not saying we're going to be able to get around it. But I am saying I hope that we can get around it. What would we rather have? Forgive me for this one. We would rather have morsels. So you do, and I'll explain why. We want a crappy morsel to take 1 hit. You need the HP more than the lifesteal. We want a crappy morsel to take 1 hit, so that our unit here lives and keeps you from adding a trash card to our deck. Then we want a second morsel, which actually becomes 2, to make sure that our overgorger gets stronger now, but also in the future. As long as only 1 unit lives to the top floor, the overgorger will kill them. Against the boss, though, they're much more at risk. Sadly, I think. I don't even really know where to put it. So there's no incant triggers. You have to live again. And you will live as long as we put a trash morsel here. This is probably our trashiest morsel for the time being, which allows you to kill you. Okay. Then, you get the HP because it's more important for you, probably. I think. And you're killing it, dude. And I don't even know where you put this. We can throw it down there, I suppose. And then we might as well, you know, give you a second lifesteal trigger. And then, you're gonna die on the next floor anyway. I think you were dead regardless as well, but... I mean, this feels fine for the time being, but I'm definitely cognizant of the fact that this first floor is not gonna live for too much longer. You're already torched, huh? Yeah, like, you basically will do some damage to us, but not enough to be scared of. So I think you actually don't play Blazing Bolts. Well, if you're gonna play either Blazing Bolts or Helical Crystals, it's obvious which one you should play. But... oh, well, you know. Maybe that was worth it. Alright, so you have Trample. We are doing 417 damage to you right now, which seems high. And believe it or not, I think we abandon this floor. I think we accept this floor as garbage. I think we grovel on you, just in case it's relevant, and give you some more HP. Give you a lifesteal trigger. Play that there. Sap 2 on 1 large unit. I don't really see it. We're living for Frostbite right now. And you're actually dead, which is hilarious. Obviously, we want you to gorge heavily. Might as well just send it. Okay, we're alive. I kind of don't believe it, but we're making it to the final boss. Things got a little spicy for a time. And yet, here we are. If we could consistently play that, I would really like it, but I don't think we can. I really... historically, Cannibalize, I don't think, has been amazing for us, although it did work nicely on our last run, I think. And I actually think we do want spell upgrades. More than unit upgrades, but let me check. Because on a unit upgrade, we'd be looking for something to make you tankier, which can't be done. Yeah. So I actually think we do want Pyre health. We'll look at our relics, too, first, but remove Consume and cost 1 more. I keep saying historically, it's the word of the day. My Frozen, when you summon your first morsel each turn, draw 1. I really want to fish for holdover Blazing Bolts. But we're choosing between that and between morsels giving draw, which is also really good, dude. But holdover Blazing Bolts is insane. I think you fish. One thing's for certain, you don't love to see it. We can at least do that. And then an Antumbra Assault being a little bit more playable is still good. Permafrost... you're not really waiting on any of these cards. I mean, I'll call it. Our last run was like one of the best basic runs, or one of the best basic decks we've ever had. Just looking at the deck as a quality of its own cards. This one is closer to the low end, I think, but is still possibly, by the strength of our units alone, enough to get us there. So now, I've learned a valuable lesson. Starting from this floor, we actually want our overgorger to be tanked up, if that makes sense. So we no longer want our overgorger to eat. We want our overgorger to be protected, probably by the Crucible Collector. We still want the Crucible Collector, / need the Crucible Collector to be able to eat. So you have 6 capacity. You have 6 capacity. You have 5 capacity. And it really is our best tank for the job. One thing's for sure, we're not going to set it up on this floor. If we're going to set it up, we're going to set it up on this floor or this floor. Okay, I think I have my play. I think, let's just play it out. You and you. That fills the floor. 1 capacity, so we can fit a Morsel Master or at least summon a Morsel up there to get lifesteal on occasion. You come here, and then Helical Crystals allows us to not die, and then we just draw a tank next turn. Forehead, just draw a tank next turn. Alternatively, the other play is insane. You go Crucible Collector, Overgorger, Capacity Champ. And what's the play there? It becomes almost impossible to gorge for Crucible Collector, but your champion is much more likely to live. I think that that's a worse line, because you eventually, like, in 2 turns, you're gonna need the gorge to survive. Even with you being quick. Really? Even with you being quick? Let's run it through. So let's assume we did this. Because you'd still be dead. We'd do a lot of damage to the boss. You'd be at full capacity. But we would have 1 more capacity coming in the future. When you came up on the next turn, minimum, you would be dead, you would be dead, you would be taking 15 damage. Dude, I hate to say it, because this is truly insane. I think the way that you play this is like so. And it's bonkers. We're basically prisoners until we draw our next Space Prism. But I think we have the kind of damage that can actually make this happen. Though it is truly stupid. We'll see about that. So what's our remaining play? Well, the real question is, what's worth more to us? Energy or stopping damage? And the answer is stopping damage from hitting the next floor. So I think you go Cole Celia with a Train Steward up in front. We're going to get Ember Drained out the you-know-what. There's no reason to summon on this floor. We might as well put a Morsel Master up here just because we got nothing else to do with our energy. Hey, at least you're countering the Ember Drain. So now that I think about it, unless we get Grovel, which we... Oh, no, we can still probably kill you. Hold on. This is non-negotiable. Sadly, there's not much we can do about that. You have to die so that... Oh, no, you're already dying, dude! This is incredible! Hold up. So now you can actually get morsels. Yeah. So do me a favor and take the lifesteal morsels so you don't have to gorge as much. You will live through the next floor. Probably. Then we'll Blazing Bolts on this floor. We're not going to kill another unit. But by summoning you here, we will at least live to apply Frostbite, which is worth quite a lot. Not a surprise, but that's okay. So you're actually full healing here. Great stuff. Still having you gorge is pretty good. So you're a sweeper, which is always dangerous. We can't really protect this unit then. So we've accepted that this unit is probably going to die. What I would say is that we actually do okay by setting up like a train steward floor. Things I didn't think I would ever say. Now, I do wish we could put Guardian Amulet on the floor below, but it is what it is. We should have summoned it down here. We might have even avoided... Well, the Ember Drain's not going to do anything anyway, really. The thing is, we don't have to worry about Ember Drain if the unit dies, and we don't have to worry about Ember Drain if the Overgorger kills the unit with Quick before it can do anything. So I think that we've improved ourselves more than you might expect here early on. So that's a lot of energy for our next turn. You guys are both dead anyway, which is hilarious. Do me a favor then and get out of my deck. That's nasty. That's the nasty play. You're not going to live long enough to overgorge, or to Ember Drain, which is very nice. You are taking damage, which I will not stand for, so get that out of there. The grovel's always weird. I still don't really know what I want to do with it. I do know that slowing you guys down and keeping you from moving up a floor is nice. You're going to get... No, you're not going to get 40 Frostbite. That will be sick, though. We know we're going to play Packed Morsels. That's a given. And I think more life on our Crucible Collector... Or, sorry, more HP, so they lifesteal more on our Crucible Collector matters the most. And then we got a choice here. Yeah, let's give you enough HP to maybe start living. You guys don't have Slay triggers, so go ahead and just clear my deck out for me. We should have played Grovel first, for sure. You know what? You're slightly at risk on the next turn. I support that. And just get these out there, please. Alright. Every turn, we gotta think it through all the way. So you're doing fine. We are losing a damage shield in the process, but no big whoop. I think that you... I mean, we like a lot, actually, now that I look at it. I think another... Well, damage shield on you doesn't really matter that much. I think a damage shield on our Overgorger, just to protect for the future, is worth a lot. And let's get a double damage shield on our Train Steward. Then I want one of you to die. We have another damage shield set up. I think getting even more damage shields on our Train Steward is worth a lot. And we're probably going to play this to get it out of our deck. You're already dying. If we played it here, I think we might have killed you better, but... and why don't you get some more damage so your life steal's even better? And somehow, like, it's got me feeling a certain way. I don't know if we have the damage because our Frostbite is being purged consistently, but, you know, there's something about this run. It's got me tickled. Alright, so this, you can think it through. No rash decisions. Purging, killing an enemy to get a damage shield into a better situation, or to save a damage shield is nice. There's no real reason to kill you. Well, there is, because it would keep you from moving up a floor and give us 2 morsels. So this is probably still good value. We'll go hard on that and give you 1 as well. Now, Blazing Bolt's the only question is what floor you use it on. I really don't mind using it on this floor, even though both of these units are dying, to save the 2 damage shield on our champ and do a little damage to the boss. Because down here, it does probably keep you from getting up, but who cares? You know, you're just 1 unit. I think that's a little better for us. It only saved 1 damage shield, to be fair, but there you go. It saved the other one. And we're hitting you for something. I could always use another snack. You know what? You might have sold me. You might have sold me. More damage shield on you, please, and more... no, you'll just get killed. Okay. Again, most of this run right now is about allowing our Overgorger to attack as many times as possible, and then also... And I have to keep reminding myself of this. Allowing our Overgorger to attack as many times as possible, getting as much lifesteal as possible on our Crucible Collector to enable that to happen, and then also enabling our champion to attack as much as is humanly possible. That's where we're at. Which is why we're putting a lot of focus on that. How much damage you do? So we're not going to get you to 90 HP. That's clear. But what we'll give you this Morsel Miner instead then. We can always get you a little bit more damage. And then what do you play? Probably a Blazing Bolts. I really think you could do a lot worse than just playing 1 here. And then we can still fit in another morsel there. It all comes down to this second floor, though. You're taking 1900 damage. I actually think we just won. Oh, it wasn't our super hero? Hold on, hold on. Oh, dude. No, the damage shield has got to... No, because you... okay, fine. Oh my god! We did it! Oh my word. I'm a little surprised, but very pleased. This is a streak on Covenant ranks 23 and 24. And we used every ounce of brain power that I have in my skull to make this one work. And here we are. Covenant rank 25. How about that? Seraph has plus 1,000 HP. I would have preferred to have not said hell yeah to that, but that's okay. Oh, we are one away. We're one away from the top of the pops. Feels good. Hey, for now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And of course, I think this one deserves it. And I'll see you next time. See ya!